moon, I don't know if you want to say waxing. I believe on the 23rd to be the full. Now, so we're dealing with the moon. So I noticed yesterday I seen a lot of accidents. So accidents and also seeing police. So that means accidents, calling or to call for the police officer. But what I'm saying is it was accidents. So whenever someone has a car accident, that means they have to have the police officers there. If that makes sense. All right, so you kind of see what's going on. Kind of like it's traveling, and if that resonates to someone, okay, so that means what connects around the environment, okay, there's people, places, okay, and things, and that is the energy that we have each other that connects. Does that make sense? All right, so I keep saying energy because energy is anything. And if you don't know your own energy, then you don't know your own source. That means you don't know anything about yourself. You know what it is, it's just a name, right? It's like different names, titles, right? So when you say energy, instead of you to say, uh, friends, family, friends, connected, somebody that I do know. But then when you bring energy, then you know a person already know your energy is what you do, right? That means a person that has the person creativity that brings in creates. I'm myself, I am, I create. And so when you talk to other people, they can't understand it because another language and a lingo they can't get to understand it. Be the same person. Oh, I met somebody. Oh, I seen her. I seen him. But what I'm saying is that a connection was. Makes sense. Now, all right. So this morning, how you want to just say this morning? It was like I woke up. I woke up rested, but woke up cloudy. That makes sense. Seemed like it was a little bit of the energy behind the scenes was like irritation. That's kind of like that's why I brought the moonology in here. So the moonology. Now, so I have already looked at it, and my understanding is about unfallen vision, and that means that uh, I'm just gonna give you a little something because I think I started yesterday. Was that the other day? And I think I did something, and it was about pro prolific expression. It means a human sexual arena, and it had something to the planet, the kingdoms, and the planet of apes. I call apples and oranges, if that makes sense. So I bring you back to fruit, where they started anyway, if that makes sense. So that means it was something that those roles can be quickly reversed. That means anybody can change, right? But some roles, it's like the role of karmic. You say karmic and you like karmic justice, and they kind of bring in, still bringing back in karmic justice, music, right? Music is musician, artist, philosopher, and philosophy. That's a person is a poet, and that brings you those the p words. You either gonna be a strong p. I mean, a strong p would be a positive, right, and a negative p. See, you have a negative of p and a negative and a positive p. Okay, so these p's, you have one of them. A word can be a strong positive, and another one could be very negative. Okay, I bring with balance. Okay, anything that in the world that we made fear to everything was evil. Okay, that means that was a person was sending out or towards you as uh, fear and for you to be scared, and that caused problem and trouble with your own words and speech and everything else. Because if a person is trying to cause with your vocal, your mentally, your vocal, your speech, and other things for your body, that means the person's trying to speak it and to put a cast on you. That means words speaking to another person. Now we got a lot of things going on. We got devices, everything. We in a time that everything is projecting. Projecting was the point in time used in the classroom, because that's where we come from. Classroom, we had a projecting, right? And these was these clear little pages, right? The teacher would put on the projecting, and that tell you it was the overhead. It had a light. So with that, you see through it, right? So we see through of those little papers. I forgot what they call it, clear, but it's like she used a certain type of Sharpie, but certain type of I think it was Expo, but use certain ones. She used to wipe it all the time, but understanding that sometimes one of those she always used it over and over, and then it become like stained a little bit. Some of the ink didn't come off, right? So what am I talking about? I'm talking about projecting and seeing. All right, it's what you see. It's seeing through a lot of things, right? And projecting. So we got a lot of people using projectings from all these devices that we use, right? And with that, we have different things of the sixth sense. And I'm going to be talking about the sixth sense. Sixth sense can also be the what should be the I call it sixth house. So that's the sixth, the house, and that will give you about work, right? And that work person, an individual, will be a person that work. It'd be like in the book. In the book will be in the Bible will be the Job, right? Job. So I'm talking about spiritual things, because this is what we're talking about. What we're talking about is a classroom, and we're coming from that because it's about classroom and work. Now, by understanding that Job, he had riches. You know, riches is a person he had it, but he had the business, he had the wealth. He was the treasurer in a long time, and he was behind the Pharaoh. Okay, now that's the other part that they don't put and tell you. But here it is. There it is again. How you like that? Now, it's some things that do your work, find out, understanding about certain things, because some people already done it, right? They already read about it, talked about it, got the book, and told you have to listen, right? So you have to use what has been given. It mean the whole. You know, we're getting at the whole now. We got half, but whole is the whole, and sometimes you get to see it all. Now, so what we're talking about? I'm talking about the unfalling of vision. So, like this, I think this title will be the whole class in the room behind. This makes sense? A whole class in the room behind. Make it sense. Authentication, because that is the voucher. That's the key. You already had the key. Somebody, hello, behind the scene, use your authentication and put something that ain't theirs. Then you want what the Saturn return that's been given, because you knew. It's not because you kind of knew, because you knew something has changed. You doing your work behind the scenes, and you want the authentication that was being given. Then you are waiting on your Saturn return, your Jupiter return, okay? And that gives a time of age, right? Your ascension is time. But if something called to the point that things have changed, and then you had so much in the pandemic and people died, right? And some people died for real, and some died from some things that was an end of things, and brought of a fool's journey that caused where we all have that I call it a time of age of Aquarius, the water barrier. And that is a person that had their fool's journey and went through dark of the hidden things of the part of being dead. You get to see things, the sixth sense, right? The sixth sense that I see people, I see dead people. Okay? And when you're dealing with that, so what that means, you see things that other people see. You can see, but I can't see. You blind, babe. You got people that don't travel. They travel, but they don't go to the destination that they need to. They linger in that lane, and then therefore, and they try to deal with the psyche. a person that has psychic abilities and use the abilities to cause problems with a person when they don't want them to be authentication. There we go. Be the author and drive their own chariot. They come in between in fear, and they come in and cause problems with tapping of an energy of they use for devices and cause problems in an individual. Okay, this is about the psyche. These abilities, we all had it in the first place. And there's some things we just couldn't do because so much fear of being conditioned and controlling things. And they come in between that because that's what they're coming from. They come for that. Clear as bell. Without some days, I'm kind of like, studying. When you go studying, that means something in between is trying to stop you what you're finna say. Or if the microphone ain't right, either microphone drop, or either who gonna pick up the mic, or is somebody gonna slow it down so a person can't hear. So the good things that I'm saying, good things now, but at a point in time, then it's like, okay, it's a play, or is it somebody in the energy that's hidden of this moon and all these eclipses causing problems, and where at a point in time they had a plan to put you in a position, all right, to put you as something was wrong with you, because all the mental time after pandemic, all the disease and different things happened, and people died, and people have that of a hurt or brokenness that cause problems when an individual, when one person died, it's like the travel is all around. So it's like all these things that happened in 2020 caused all the havoc. Then now you're dealing with all the things happen, and we all connect, right? So that makes sense. It's always mental. It is dealing with what you already have, and how can you deal with it, especially when you're dealing with entities that does not go on to the light, or they stay there for a reason, cause problem, or either trying to take you to control in front of you. Then you like, okay, if that's normal, then he's like, oh, it's a devil somewhere. But it's what is a ghost? So I put like as a ghost. Another word for ghost. Let me put in here. I wrote it down. I always try to find something and to understand what I'm talking about, because sometimes I say things. You can go to the book. It's called a dream It's an interpretation, and that is a handbook. So it's like, okay, so what is the ghost? The ghost represent you. It's you. You are the person, right? So that means that let me put it in here. I put it right here. Sometimes I should have highlighted when I wrote it down. I put it here, but I always do myself. So I write things that bring it where I need to say. So it's another thing. When you're trying to do something and somebody interfere again, I say it again. Here it is. It says the ghost. The ghost is represent you, your past, your life to change. Your change is to change and be strong with it. That's that 15 and 18. So my understanding is like you're psychological of a sixth sense, visionary size of a dead, which you can see other things that other people can. And so they give you the 15, 18. They give you a dual bit, or that's a parallel. So what that is, duality, right? And then also give you a 5 and 8. Give you that bull. We're in the Taurus, going into what? We're finna go into the lovers, right? Those are twins. So, but bull is about your, the head. I think we just got talking about them mountain oysters, okay? We came for about the bull. Bull was really about Taurus, okay? So they give you that also with that. Also give you that bull-headed, got to do with teach. High priest with that. So when you dealing with a Taurus, is bull-headed, okay? And when you got that big head, it's Taurus energy. Bull-headed, right? And then, but it's teaching too. But when you got that eighth, which would be Leo strength. So then you understand what I'm talking about. So that's that strength. But you're dealing with a King Empress energy. So there you go. Then you get High Priest with that because we're going into summer. Summer is the volume of that. So we're going into that will be we're talking about the moon. And then I said earlier it's the waxing. That's what we're dealing with. So what they do in their waxing moons, like people do, they use their certain things. They either gonna use it for to harm other people, or they're gonna use the moon for something for yourself. And that means anything that you can go ahead and build, you rebuild whatever you put in the ground. That means your information you can put in a seed as well right now, and you put your seeds on right here. But seeds has to do with fruit, apples and oranges. I'm gonna tell you the same thing. But when you doing that, make sure you're doing this about yourself and not harming other people. You know that causes is a result and can always cause karmic injustice from yourself, and you harming other people. You don't mess with things that has to do with that. Um, like I said, people don't do what they own. I think when we recognize what was done a long time ago, we won't do that again. It has a karmic effect. All right. So now, when we're dealing with people stolen stuff, that authentication, and people stolen identities and different things that are now, it's very important to have they ask questions like, are you a robot or are you a human? And then we watch a movie that has to do with that, right? But it has to do with more than that. It's just what's human and what's not. That's how that movie was of the kingdoms of Planet of Apes. It's like we all here. What we gonna do with it? Are we gonna sit here and put people off on certain people need to be here and not? Then that don't make no sense. Okay, it don't make sense. Make it sense. Somebody, please. But when you using people trying to harm you and put you in a predicament, they end up falling in that ditch. That ditch is a ditch. If a person take all that time and energy and put you in a position and you wonder why things work the way they want it work, but then it reverse it back to them. You know why? Because they didn't put all the energy in there. They didn't understand that they did more energy than they did from the individual of the others that they looking behind the scenes in the classroom. Right? That means that the information that they thought that they would take the energy from another person and put them and get views on any type of things, views, because it seems like the views from TikTok, YouTube, and everything else, this is what this is about. It's always about teaching. When we start doing all that, people behind us already doing the work, right? But then you listening, what's going on? It's a whole lot of stuff. So I'm gonna give you Saturn. Also give you some of the Saturn returns. This is the same thing that I'm telling you about. And with that, see there go one too, another shot. Reverse send back to the sender, not tenfold, hundredfold. Give it back to the other person. Trying to strangle what you got to say. So if they got to do behind the scenes, while you watching from all the people taking your energy to what everything you do, person, place, and thing, you put all that energy to other people. Then when you stop giving that energy, you put it back to yourself. Somebody not getting paid. Does that make sense? And then they get the after effect and they figure out where it was coming from. So that means individually, what you do daily means a lot. And what your thinking thoughts and go toward other people, that's money, right? Without the paper. Now they're trying to get through with paper, being coins and all that. Now they're coming back to money without it. Now it's energy now. Energy is the same thing as the bill on the coins. Does that make sense? Now you understand this is travel, authentication, and being stolen. Everybody should got that with Saturn return, and especially at the time of your age too. That time you were supposed to get your energy as if your money. That means what was returned, person, place, and things. And if you're not getting authentication, then somebody will use your authentication on their vouch. There you go. Somebody did it. Now, so if that's the case, then you have somebody else already knew you had it, but then you connected to them, and then you didn't even know what was going on. By you sitting there with them, tied with them, and you got names and everything connected and all that, you're gonna figure out where it come from. And you wonder why you didn't get yours, but they got it because you connected to them, because they already knew you had it. That's why I said we're talking about a whole class in the room behind Make It Sense authentication. Then you the teacher, but you're not getting authentication as an voucher to receive it back. But somebody else behind in the classroom is making sense. Making sense. So let's go on here and see what's going on here. I had to give you that little bit. In the end, I'm surely gonna give you the information about the unfalling of vision. And we're talking about teaching, because number 5 was all it was about that. High priest. That didn't mean teaching. That's all we was in here to teach. So everybody was doing that. That was your job to do that. Okay, that's the work part. With the 6th house, work, and that means somebody teaching or somebody is up under there, sitting down and to learn. That's all we're talking about. So making sense. So how can it be so evil just being yourself? No, I got the energy here. These are cards that I pulled in. This one is a time to release negativity, a full moon in Scorpio. And I think we talked about that when we understand why not Pluto. Now that's one. I'm trying to do it instead right here. And the next one was a time. It says a time to give rather than take. That's that new moon, Virgo. And the other one is Scorpio and Virgo. And the next one is a new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. And the next one is it says work through your fears, Scorpio. Excuse me. And the next one is luck is on your side. They give you the energy of the commercial. And the next one is your hard work is paying off. Has a new moon in Capricorn. And the other one is nothing is yet in the stone. Oh, it say nothing is yet set in the stone. Okay, that's the mutable. That's that moon. See, there it is. There it is again. So that gives you, that has to be Mercury, and to me it's immutable. So I believe that I'm correct. But if it's not, I'm gonna figure it out. But if that is, that let you know that has to do with Mercury. That is the communication, which we coming into that, because we coming from that. Okay, that's from the bull going into the twins. Twins has to do with Mercury, and Mercury has to do with Virgo. Also has to do with Gemini. Okay, that is communication. Okay, so that gives you the information of where the work is getting in that 6th house, that Virgo. And with the communication, okay, that means that will be in the 3rd house, though. All right, so communication. That means Empress, okay. So, all right. Next one is emotional, or running high. Still the moon, and this one is this one. We got 6, 7, and 8, and here is 9. Because this one's going to live right there. Believe in the possible. And we got a blue moon. I don't know, maybe 11. Justice. Let's go on in now. Okay. And another one, don't let your past hold you back. And this one would be the South Node. Now, we're not supposed to deal with that South Node. You know, it's like you got to deal with it, but you got to go into the other and the North Node. Understand the South Node is about past stuff, but you don't deal with it all the time. But you have to understand that you're dealing with dead people that you can't see. That makes sense? So that you're dealing with psychic abilities in the illusional and eclipse energy for all this time that the planets has been lined up. So they're telling you that's a lot of dark. Dark means of subconscious of thought. And what is the you dealing with the nine? Nine got to do with, well, it's the eighth house, but we figure it out that it goes into a nine, and then to me it is the Scorpio moon, and you still dealing with Pluto. Pluto, and you're dealing with the nine, which is the 12th of that, which is stuck energy. Then you in between, in the mid of it. You got a part of them. You got to know about your natal charts, and you really need to know what's the best thing about individuals to build your own self up, which would be your horoscope and different thing astrology, to get you understanding about yourself, to build yourself up to where you were in with fear. Build yourself back up to building yourself. Now, one thing about me, I say one thing behind the scene, but I'm gonna tell you like this: I pop off, and like I said, when you dealing with me, I know what I'm supposed to do. But when a person is trying to stall you, they're trying to put you in a position, but also behind the scenes sitting on the seats. And they got different shifts. You know, they got shifts, like you go to work, and you got shifts behind the scenes. Every shift, here come another one. You got to deal with it. With the people that's sitting in the seats and learning, or either learning for what you have and sitting here causing problems with you, because the point of is to take authentication of that you got. So if somebody behind the scenes, that you already know what that is. If it's devices or anything like that, then what is that? It's monitored spirits, and that is traveling. Then if people don't go to the light, then they don't go to the light. They like don't get in the Carolina. Then we in Poltergeist again in the movie in 1980s. If not, then you're gonna be in the civil energy, what I call civil, which would be the movie with Carrie. Okay, that Carrie to me is Carrie energy. You know how they did with that with the pig blood and all that. You know what I'm saying? So that's that energy. You know, she had it because she was different. They use that when a person is like, they call it green energy. Green energy to me is a person that's green, is grounded. You know what I'm saying? That they stay word to the ground. That's to the point of that. Certain people just not into that. They always causing problems, and then you be around groups and stuff. So we're talking about groups, okay? So who is here watching behind the scenes in the class with the projecting energy, and one is teaching, but the person is, you can see through it all, through those little slips on that projecting. Okay, if y'all resonate that. 12th grand cycle. Here we go. It tells you step out of your comfort zone. North node. There we go. Then we're dealing with purple and green. Purple got to do with your head. Green got to deal with the energy, which will be your heart. So you dealing with head and heart, and your heart has either gonna be good or not. You know what I'm saying? But purple and green, that's what we're dealing with. That's my energy. Okay, that's what I do daily. That's the part what I'm doing divinely guiding. Chosen star seed at that. Spiritually, 777. I don't need to know it's 21. 21 is gonna tell me that I'm about the world, about perception, and what we're supposed to be doing in here teaching. I'm doing my job. But like I said, we got so many people of the negative part, authentication, using it and abuse it to you about your authentication of your batch. So we talking about stolen identity, psychic abilities, teaching abilities, who can teach and who not, in the Fifth Amendment, when we all got the opportunity to do that. So we got people that they overdo it. Your karmic justice gonna be whatever that was being given in the first place. You didn't need no much all that. That's extra. And more fire. You already gonna have karma, what you put out in this world. They put too much on there. That's because of reason. Now let's see. I'm gonna read something here. It's about because this book is the dream interpretation of a handbook. So they're gonna tell you the world, the I, and a two. It's gonna give you nothing but bones up in here. It's also gonna give you an eye, so it'll give you the information. This is about a vivid dreamer. When you have the dreamer and the dancing, then you already know you got both of those. That's a high priest, which is the priest to me is the Pisces. Pisces, all right. So when you have that information, you already know what that is, where it comes from. So when you have that person that is hanging around with that Pisces, Pisces got will do with what they did about now it's like I'm there, but then I want to say it, but then I don't want to say it. But anyway, I'm just saying, it's about different places in your home, in your house. It depends on if you got that in your house. Sometimes got that fourth house in that Pisces energy in there. That means a lot of home, certain people that like to stay at home. That's got to do really what it have to do with a crabby. Sometimes it's a hermit crab too. That gives you information would be Cancer. Cancer's water, emotional, Pisces, and Scorpio. Also, you have Virgo. Virgo is like the hermit crab. You know what I'm saying? That is that energy of that. Would there be a tarot type of a card that is, or it's not even, it's an oracle card, but it is it's tarot card. So whatever you want to call it. So like I said, hermit. So hermit, that has to do with a person, what they do in their home. They work inside what they do. You know what I'm saying? They work behind the scenes. So, but what they got to do with the Saturn? So I kind of like, these are the Saturn returns. And the time of your age. And if your age, it tells you when you return. And that is everybody's business if everybody got their own B-day. Your birthday is going to be, everybody going to know about it. So you know that anybody can go interfere with you doing about your day birth. Okay? So, like I say, it is the date of your birth. So, now Saturn, right now, Scissor, what you want to call it, SZA. And I was like, okay, I listen, but what you listen is not, it's like soft, but it's like the Tweety bird. When you had a Tweety bird, as the person is a type of a siren, but it is the watery. It's her vocal, if that resonates. So that's something that she has. So if that's behind the scene, but with that, it has the energy though. But I remember when I did my first, I guess not my first one of them. I guess I had more views on this particular one, and it has to do with my salt bath. And there I was mixing different things, and all of a sudden, I never forget that day. It seemed like whatever was happening, I was doing TikTok, and it's kind of like it was like a chopping screw type of thing, and then all of a sudden it went forward, then it went back, and then it went forward. That makes sense. And it was something that turned it around to my understanding. I was like, at first, this is not gonna work. I go back and do it again. By the time I did, and then I realized it was too long. I went back and rechanged it, and then I was rechanged it later on to put it as for on the YouTube. But when I put it on my TikTok, and I never forget, I put this Nirvana right here, Nirvana, and I put that in there, and it's a fragrance. It's really nice, and that's Nurture Soul, and on my store. So my thing in authentication, it has to do with my store. I had, first thing I started was naturally just for me, and I realized that that's as a perm, right? A relaxer for a kid, for kids. But the point, I wasn't thinking about that. It was like differently. But then you figure out, you start doing all kinds of things that you was on your thought, but you, I guess the regulations that you can't really do a lot of stuff that you could long time ago. They basically, you have to have certain things, and if somebody else had your title or name than somebody else, you couldn't use it. But I did. I had my own name, but I was on, I believe not TikTok, but it was Instagram. And Instagram, I had so much travel of watching behind the scenes that I was like, what is all this? I had so many people using other names and different things. And the reason why I'm saying that, because I am the person that's teaching. I know somebody else have the same issues. So what I'm giving out the information, why I said behind this hidden things that you don't know about your authentication, that's about building. And that's the reason why I'm saying it, because I know I'm not by myself. So when I said that, is Nirvana. And I remember that was the best views I ever had. That on my TikTok. And I mean, it was really nice. I had my first, I guess it's my 5G, my phone, everything changed. So what I'm trying to say, if that resonates, so that I do 5G, cool, okay. So it was just that. But under that, the Saturn, what she said, if there's another universe, please make some noise. Give me a sign. This can't be life. If there's a point of losing love, repeating pain, why is it all the same? I hate this place. Others would. Okay. Anyway, well, like I said, here's on the second part. Stuck in this paradigm, don't believe in paradise. This must be what hell is like. There's got to be more. Got to be more. Sick of this head of mine, and it's intrusive thoughts that paralyze Nirvana's bottle. That's what I put that as not advertised, because I was like, I stopped, paused, and I moved on. But it's that there's got to be more being here before. It's like, to me, it's like, you pay attention. My advertisement, it was the issue, was the advertisement. That's like, you need someone to help you with your advertisement. And I didn't. I kind of thought what I was doing. Does that make sense? So, my understanding, you pay attention. When you think that you're the only one doing what you're doing in this world, and I knew that I wasn't looking at myself as a teacher, right? I am, but I didn't know what they do behind the scenes, though. This is not nothing new up under the sun. But when you figured out that you are very important and that it is behind the scenes. But when it comes to the point that you kind of know it's something dead about it, and it is. It's something stinky, and it's a rat. And when you start smelling your senses, it's not just because of you stinking. It could be something around. Does that make sense? It means something that is sneaky behind the scene. But then when you dealing with that south node of past generations of all of it, it's all trees. It has to do with sacred. It is something with sacred. Sacred has to do with a casting on something. It's a rod. You know how you put somebody finna do, especially in fishing. You dealing with fish, and fish got a lot to do with Pisces. Also give you that 12th house, and that means a lot of things, right? Also, some things end of certain things. Okay. So which one the card in here is number 9? 1, 2. That's that believe in the impossible. That's that blue moon. But also it tells you believe. It's about faith within yourself. You can do all things. Okay. I think that's 1, 2, 3, 6. That's 9, 10, 11. I'm still right. So we got 11. I thought it was 12. So it's 11. So that 11 is, like I say, that has to do with that this right here is the Aquarius. Now right here is the Aquarius, that's the 11th house. So don't let your past hold you back, right? But it is with this South Node. My understanding, we're dealing with Scorpio. Okay. So, but even though it's Taurus and South, so let's do it like that. Now, you're dealing with that green one, which will be Taurus energy, right? But that's the South that you don't want to deal with. So you go across that, which will be the north of Scorpio. So there it is. I think I already talked about that one of a video, and that video had to do with the South Node, which was the Taurus. Now we're dealing with it, right? But the point is to go forward into the north. North will be in Scorpio. Now, north has to do with hidden things, but after that, it's like you can be in a balance with it. You don't have to be in the negative, but when you have somebody constantly, it's like a gnat. or a fly that's just hanging with it, then we give it back to what she said about Saturn. It's in a stuck energy. That means a mid. You hanging in there. And that means you in between. Right? So you dangling. You dangling in between. And that's what I'm talking about. So now that's not so my understanding, I'm gonna give you some information here. This will be the first one I think we started here, which will be full moon in Scorpio. Let me see what it's saying with that. And I'm gonna go to another. So, like this is a new book. This is a new deck. What y'all call a new deck. So, full moon in Scorpio. 82. Okay, 82. All right. It's a time to release negativity, but what it says here, just give you something in here. It has to. You've been feeling paranoid and acting weird. Take the card as very direct message from the cosmos and to stop it. Worrying yourself and pointless. See this here. What get me about the worry thing is, to me, what is it? Okay, if we all line up, everything line up, the stars line up, everything line up, then you see everything is lined. Then you line like that, line by line, it's going to tell you it's time for the 70, right? It's going to give you that, which I would say in spiritual end of the book will have you to do with it's time for, it's right, it's on the tip of my tongue, but it means free. That means you're free from what you was connecting to. You giving of a freedom, right? That, to my understanding. But is that the hidden part? Was in all this time was hidden? And when you talk like that, because now you're able to bring a whole to get the understanding, the seeing of the vision. You have to be able to teach, but you got to see too. You got to see in the light, you got to see in the dark. You got to do both. So if you're able to do all of that, then you're a teacher. Then you're a priestess. You're a priest. You're a person that gives the information. You teach. That means either it's going to be a positive or a negative. It's up to you how you do that. That's your create what you build. That's you. You're building yourself, right? That makes sense? Because it's a choices here. And it's like you got so many things say one which is a bad thing, but it's a choice. Which one you are? Now people don't like that, but it's true because they take the control. That a part of fearful they take from them. And you see that red bird? That's a karma. Red bird is also spiritual of your past, of your ancestry, but also tell you what the energy gives you too. Red also gives you. It's always a pair, 9 or 10 you see. When you see it by itself, also give you the energy what's surrounding environment. So, alright, so I did that. And this time I'm pulling cards so people can see it. You know, sometimes I try to do it here, but I still have to, I teach. And if you are doing any time that what are you doing, you teaching. That's what we're here for. Okay, so let's get on in here. So let's go talk about these moon. This moon here, full moon, and it's the flower moon, matter of fact. Like I said, it has to do with summer and put seeds in the ground. It's time to build in the ground what you already built in. You should be returning this. And it's been a year, so therefore, what you've been put in, you're gonna get some of that back in return. Authentication. Somebody can't stop it. Here, and this one here, I'm just gonna put it in here. This will say, Suntress, do it for you. That's number 41. Okay. So let me go in here and get more information. So, why cause problems when the teacher is teaching and somebody behind it is trying to stop what you're doing? Authentication. You be grouped with stuff that you don't know. They take in the energy and you sitting up in here. And they're trying to stop you. It's like identity crisis of this energy that with this certain There it is, 13, about a person. Saturn in turns. There it is again. See that the energy is going to give you about that twin connection to somebody that you connected with. Got a problem with you, with your communication of that twin that you're dealing with. Okay, you're dealing with some type of twin flame, or you could be a partner, or who of your family friends. With that work that you do daily, dealing with the same stuff. So let me see what it's about, though, because I got something for you. So what is it about? That's going to tell you stars. You can manifest your every wish. It has to do with your star. Stars going to give it back to the time of Aquarius. That's the reason why. Because you are building yourself, work, and they are the others are watching. Alright? Stars gonna give you that. That's number 5. 5 back at the Hare Fund again. We'll show it again. And what you're dealing with, this bullheaded energy. See, let me tell you something. I know somebody got bullheaded. She get it for her mama too. Now how about that? So when you have that energy like that, they bullheaded. I know me. See, you gotta know your own self. We both teach. All my kids are teachers. They will be, always will be, because it comes from their mama. So now this got to have something to do with your family and your friends and your community that are watching about your work. You know, I went somewhere the other day. Somebody said something about a candle, and I do, like I said, I quit that. I wouldn't. It's like my business is on star right now. But like I said, for a reason, because I'm finna do something else. But with that, it kind of like, oh, he was talking about some smoke in the candle. I said, wow, what kind of smoke would that have? And I started laughing, but I laughed was fun because I understand what he was saying about smoke. So, like I say, smoke means something smoky, right? But if that smoke got to do with candle, smoke. When somebody else saying smoke, you know, smoke got something to do with somebody got what? It means, in my understanding, I know what smoke means. I mean, you got some smoke with somebody else. Does that make sense? About your candles. It makes sense. Now, look at here. Now, look what's coming. Evil Queen. You deserve sugar, not salt. You know what they got to do with that? Come on. They got to do with, what is it called? Jekyll and Hyde, not Jekyll and Hyde. It has something to do with the sugar. It's the one that with the evil queen, the one that go for all of a sudden go backwards, and I started laughing. And that was like the movie. It's on here, Hansel and Gretel, I think. Gretel and boy, that queen got on there went backwards. I watched. I laughed so hard. The kids was like, "Mom, you watching this?" And I'm like, "Yeah," because I be listening to it because it was so funny. Because them things, now that's the worst makeup artist I ever seen in my life. That's the ugliest. I mean, they did. It's like the guy that played on the movie with them vampires, and I forgot his name. He's a directing of the movie. Something said something. I forgot his name, but his movies is, oh man, the makeup artists, those artists of the makeup. Oh, it's so scary. I'm telling. It's always blood and gore when he makes his movies. But for this particular one, them witches was ugly. Woo! I'm like, dog, you can't now. That you want to do at night. I mean, not at night, but in the day. If that resonates, if somebody's scared about it. But I'm saying it's ugly. You don't want to see that. But see, this evil queen is dealing with the stars and the sundress. The sundress is 41. 4 means doors and open, right? 4. So 4 going to 1 with 5 again. Then you give the numbers in here, what you're dealing with. So that's 10. 10 gonna be the wheel. And the high priest, what she is, number 2, you're dealing with, and that means deserve sugar or salt. Giving you a salty or a sugar, because either one is bad. Too much sugar too bad, and too much salt is bad. But you know what I'm saying is, you got somebody giving you something sweet and something salty. So if you confused, if this queen is giving you confused, then you already, that ain't the Most High. You already know what that is. You dealing with a devil with the dress. Okay, blue or red, which one? It's an evil queen, and we gonna leave right there. Now look at this one. I gotta do this one here. It says here, Princess, you can be your own knight. That's one thing about me. When I know the moon is coming, I say, no, something ain't right. I'm telling you what I know. You know, and when I know something ain't right, I know something just ain't right. When you're dealing with this type of energy, you got to understand what you're dealing with. And I know, but it's like always trying to bring a balance. You're already dealing with an evil queen. All right. Now, let me go ahead and say some different things I have to say. Okay. She said, if it's really real, how am I still here? Just seems so unfair. I could be wrong, though. If there's a point to being good, then where's my reward? It's like too good die young and poor. I gave it all could. Now, sometimes I want to tell y'all very important, because some things you're got so many gifts and people use it for yourself, for what you do daily. I mean, what you do daily. If you go look at some of these books, and if you've done something, you pick on a book, and all of a sudden you feel funny. Sometimes it could be you. Somebody using stuff about what you do daily. See, everything up under something. And if that's the case, that means everything been watching. Everything's the eye, right? So when you're dealing with the eye, it's stuff hidden that you don't know nothing about. So this got to do with authentication. That about what you build. And when I first started, man, I had everything there, and things stopped my fear of what I was doing. I had to figure it out. It was different languages. I had to go figure out what the language was to get to understand what I was dealing with, and I figured out what it was. Let's give you somebody else. A lot of people, the Instagrams, and a lot of stuff happened to Instagram. And from my understanding, Instagram has something to do with the family thing, which will be a number 4. 4 has to do with what? That is the BET. BET has to do with family in. Yes, I give all. And when I'm doing my teaching, I'm in every place, because I can get the understanding and give it out to other people. I can't get, when you teaching, you got other people don't understand how you're doing. You know what I'm saying? How you can sit here and give out the information. I'm not worried about the views. It's just the teaching part. It's like you want it, but if you got somebody slowing you down like that, you give out information and people use it, and then you see other people and doing more views, are you going to be mad about what they doing? No, because if it's your time, it's your time. But if they interfering with your authentication, what you're doing on your building, then that causes problems with their karmic justice to come back. I just got 11 cards in here, plus the 3 and the 4. So what they gonna give you? 11 cards, the information I gave you, plus 4, 12, 13, 14, 15. Give you that energy of the 15 that we're dealing with. This high priest, right here, the evil queen. So when you're dealing with the visionary, it tells you about that engage and struggle. It's like it's the vision, but also it's the tenacity to hang in there. And we're talking about the mid of it, of the Saturn energy that you're dealing with. So of your return. But to my understanding, her lyrics was talking about somebody. So was she connected? Because she had to be connected to something. That's the energy that she's giving out, is lyrics. And that is musician. And that is a person as a muse. That is, I called her Tweedledee. And not Tweedledum, is she? I wouldn't do that, because I believe that she's got to do with that stars. Stars has to do with the Kendrick Lamar. With it has to do with her. See, that's the next one. I did Kendrick and Drake. and some other little pieces. Lisa Jam, that's the Clairaudience. Now I'm up here, and that didn't even know that was her. I couldn't even know that, but I kept hearing her. But that gives you the information right there. So that's energy, right? The energy assists us. So that is SZA. And my understanding has to do with stars, right? So being that information brought it back. It was an evil queen doing all of this stuff. Somebody in between. Now she know it, or I know it, or who know it. Somebody we know, right there. So giving that information about Saturn, that's got to do with energy and what some behind the scenes in the seat. The whole class in the room behind, make it sense. Authentication. Somebody who watching behind the scenes. This got to do with the Nirvana. That's gonna give you the information. This is where when you connected with everybody. That's the reason why 9 out of 10 don't want nobody to teach. Because this is the reason why. Because it's like you bring it up to what it is. All you do is say something. But remember, number one, you're the magician, you the creator, you the one to build it. You build it up. Okay, you are the princess. That you can be your own knight. That means you the one gonna fight. Knight gonna protect to the queen. And if it's a protector, empresses must be young, meaning that she's gonna be a queen. One or two. Because empress is the one that got the money. She is the gift that's given. And if she the empress and she got a knight, she got it going on. But putting you as a knight, you have to protect yourself. Oh my gosh. We got the flower energy. There you go again, empress energy. There it is. This the moon, flower moon. Let's all connect. There it is now. It ends. Be honest with yourself. So add one more card to give you 16. Let's see. 13. Let's see. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Alright. We bring it to the 17 star. Star gonna give you, that will give you the goal. You don't need someone else to fix you, right? I mean, what you need to fix something that you already got, right? But like I said, it's a lot going on in here. I'm gonna deal on behind my scenes, and if I feel like bring something in, I will. But like I said, these other 3 cards I put in there is number 1, number 17, 36 gonna give you what? Give you the information that I said earlier, which would be communication, which would be in Mercury. 3 house would give you Gemini, and 6 house would give you Virgo. Now we got Virgo in here. I know I seen Hammer. Let's say Hammer. Got Karma coming on in here too. A time to give rather than take. So like I said, everything is set in stone. It may be set in stone, but my understanding about this queen, this evil queen, I'm just gonna give that. And I try not to get too much, confused as a person. Give you some sugar and salt, and both is too much. You do too much, but she gonna give you both, sweet and salt. Let me say something. It's also a teacher too. But she confusing you, installing you. So that's something that could be in the dead energy, hanging around, just hanging. So which house number 2? Let's say. You deserve sugar, not salt. Look at that. And it's kind of like 1 and 2. Ain't the sun 1 and 2? So let me give you this. You may be, let's give this one. You can be your own knight. You may be in the dire of situation you need to escape from. Escape. Run. That was the last video. Rest assured, you have the power within to preserve. You already know you don't need to be rescued or rescued by a charming prince or a chivalrous knight. Okay, in shining armor, you got your own shield and a sword, and God's help anyone who thinks they can do a better job than you. Meaning that you got it. Now you're dealing with a prince. Now a prince is a person that is like he ain't the king yet. Chivalry or a chivalrous knight or shining armor. It's like a knight is still trying to be, it's like a junior is a prince trying to be a king, and a chivalrous knight, he gets to go through the whole board because he ain't no king yet. Cause he playing. You know, if that makes sense, and that and hidden stuff. Okay, he's a chivalrous knight, and he don't do nothing but he do stuff at night. The freaks come out at night. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Freaks come out at night, and he's doing his thing behind that. Now the next one, like I say, of the evil queen, someone in your life is mistreating you. You keep trying to see the good in them, but they just keep disappointing you again and again. Truth is, some people, truth is, that's gonna give Fantasia information. That's some fantasy of stuff that it is, but fantasy of past, right? Give you some information. Truth is, some people don't deserve second chances, as difficult as it may be. This is your sign that you need to cut them loose, unfollow them, and block their number. It's time to move on. Don't whatever it takes to find some inner peace, for it's just as precious as gold. So, family, friends, community, that, you know, one thing about alone, there you go, alone. They're gonna tell you something long ago. And when you deal with gangsters, right? And if it's a gangster, and then the next person would be his friend, and he gonna watch the hell out of that friend. You see what I'm saying? It's too close to him, and when you're too close, you can't see, right? Because you already love. You know, love got to do with how you feel to people, your personal friends, personal family and friends. They're gonna be so close that you ain't gonna think they're the one who done it. It's gonna be so close. Sometimes it could be your kids. It could be your aunties. It could be a grandmother or your mother or your father, uncles, nieces and nephews. It could be, like I said, your sisters and brothers. But then you go to the next one. It's like a level of it. But then your family. It could be somebody closer to you that you wouldn't think. It could be somebody that is connected to you daily. But so close that you can't see. When I say you can't see, but I can't see, you blind baby. Yeah, they give you the information. But this is an evil queen. Got a lot of influence. I got a Virgo in. First, we're talking about a Capricorn. You got Virgo. You got a Taurus. You got everybody that's in here that's doing it. And all of this has to do about your teaching and authentication. When a person see you, what you doing, and you start building yourself, and a person start crying, they jealous about what you doing. Either they didn't come in between to help with you or to connect with you, or they not in the same level that you are. And then this is what it's about. It's about the class in the room behind. Either the person wasn't in the class, was behind, and caused problem in your authentication and stopping you. But it's an evil queen. It's like sometimes you don't know what they do. You know what I'm saying? We got 11 justice on here. And it's Karmic Justice. 6 cards in this. This would be the card of Believe in Your Magic. That's 6 cards. Still back 6 cards again. About a love. You know, that means something connecting. That means you connected to something. There it is again. So, do it right. Doors is open. 5, teaching. 2 of your star in yellow at that. 1 and 2. They find a way. They had already